Good evening, everyone. We are live from Weingart Stadium, located on the campus of East Los Angeles College, for our season finale here of Husky football, right here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Albert Robles. Joined with me, of course, once again, is the old guy, Mr. Mark Pavlovich, running the camera for us here today. Should be an exciting game to finish things off between these two teams. Tonight, your ELAC Huskies take on the visiting Falcons of Cerritos College. Falcons come in with a record of 7-2, while your Huskies have a record of 2-7. A win for Cerritos could pretty much solidify their playoff chances, where for East LA, they're just looking to finish things off on a positive note. Mark?
Well, I think when you look at what happened at the Fullerton College game today, where Golden West College just secured a spot in the playoffs. Saddleback won today. They secured a spot in the playoffs. We know Ventura is going to be there. Cerritos wins this game today. They will secure themselves, we believe, a spot in the playoffs.
And so East LA was going to be kicking things off to start the game. Cerritos will be receiving and be playing right to left. Little squib kick on the ground, recovered by a number 7 of the Falcons, going to be brought down at the 35. So a huge return to start things off for the Falcons. That was Rocco Caldarella on the return. And the Falcons already in outstanding position. And it doesn't surprise me, Mark, that, Caldarella really got things moving so far for the Falcons here. He leads the Falcons in return yards in the season with 567 return yards.
Yeah, talented wide receiver for this team.
Here is the snap, pass up the middle, complete to number 2, Charles Clinton. Good for a first down. And the Falcons are 3 yards away from the end zone. So first and goal on the Husky 3rd. Big first play for Jeremiah Calvin and the Cerritos Falcons. Here's the snap. Calvin looks to his right, finds his target, but overthrows his intended receiver of Jackson Va'a.
And Albert, when you look at the Cerritos team, when you look and you go right to left, you got Baca at right tackle, Paulo at right guard, Huckabee at center. Left guard is Alfonso Leometti. And then you have Sandoval at left tackle, and then watch out for Maxey, their tight end.
So they'll run it up the left side with a handoff to Michael Ashford, who finds himself in the end zone for a touchdown. Falcons on the board. What was that, Mark? 3 plays already?
That's right. I mean, they were talented. They really handed it to the Hornets. And Corey Nayland, who was at that game, said they ran the ball well. You'll hear Corey at halftime here on SportsNetUSA.net.
So Falcons lead 6-0. And now 7-0 with the extra point being up and good. So Falcons already starting to take care of business as they have all season. And are up 7-0 against your Huskies. And now we'll see what East LA is able to do. Looking at the warm-ups, it seemed that East LA is going to be operating a little bit under a short roster today. So you might not see some of the usual suspects that you might have seen earlier on in the season for East LA. Head coach Bobby Godin is probably trying to get some more tape for some of his younger players, get them a little more experience. And with a record of 2-7, there's really not a whole lot that you're fighting for in terms of your season or playoff hopes. Not even in contention for a bowl game, I would say. Just really trying to find some positivity and some highlights for some of your other players. Return made by Victor Rodriguez. Gets that back to the 20, so that is where East LA will take things over.
Yeah, and you talked about how easy it was and how talented it was. Well, I guess they just sort of act like they're SID over at Cerritos, the well-known and one of the best SIDs in California, John Van Gaston. John, thank you for all the information you sent us here on sportsnetusa.net. It's been a fun run, John, and have a great retirement.
Here is the snap. They'll throw it out to the left-hand side. Pass is complete. It'll be a gain of about 3 yards for East LA. And it's Brandon Valencia in at quarterback for Logan Ebnett. And with Ebnett being, a young freshman for this ELAC team and throwing over 2,000 yards, he's definitely a player that you want to protect going into next season. They'll hand it off this time. Looks like they were going with Jared Andrade on the handoff. No gain on the play. Actually, they're going to give them 2 yards because they were able to move that scrum a little bit forward before forward progress was eliminated. So 3rd and 5 here for East LA. Valencia's going to keep it. He's going to run. He's going to get the first down and a few yards more.
And that's the one thing that you will see from Sherholz when he was with the Hornets. Didn't necessarily do that well against Cerritos last week, but he was one of the ones that made a progressive mark against the defense. So once again, maybe a running quarterback will help East LA's bid for a victory.
Falcons with an early 7-0 lead after scoring within 3 plays off a great return on their special teams. East LA looking to respond in their first possession. They'll gain about 3 yards on this carry.
And Albert, it's real interesting because you watch Valencia. What he does is he does basically a read handoff. So if they look like they're going to, when he goes to hand it off, he's going to go back to his running back. If it looks like they're biting on the running back, he keeps the ball. If they're not biting on the running back, he allows the handoff to happen. And the running back can take control of what he's doing.
Valencia will pass, connects with Rodriguez. Stays in bounds, but they're going to rule him out at the 45. He was looking for daylight and almost had it. But that is good enough for the first down. So East LA at least able to move the chains.
Well, if you're a Fullerton College fan and you're watching this game here on sportsnetusa.net and it continues to go the way it's going right now, may be a very sad evening for you.
Valencia has seen limited action this season. Only has a total of 44 yards to his name passing. They'll hand it off to Andrade, who dives for some extra yards, but they're only going to give him 2. They'll mark him down at the 43-yard line of the Falcons' territory. So 2nd and 8 here for East LA. Valencia has a snap. Pass immediately to the right-hand side. He's got his man. It's going to be a short gain for Jonas Leo Paz. Gain of 3 on the play as they mark him down at the 40. So 3rd and 5 coming up for East LA. So Andrade in at running back for East LA. Victor Rodriguez on the near side, bottom portion of your screen. Valencia throws to the right-hand side. That's complete. Marked down just a little bit short of the 15-yard line. Pass complete to Jonas Leo Paz. So a great first down pass on 3rd and 5 to move the chains for East LA. They're in the red zone.
And as you can see, basically, when you look at them, Cerritos sometimes will play with 3 down linemen, sometimes come up with 4 down linemen. They switch that up there with 4 down linemen right now.
Quick pass out to the left side, and that ball is loose. The pass was complete to Jonas Leo Paz, who had made the catch, but immediately fumbles the ball and is recovered by Cerritos. So an unfortunate turn of events on what was a very strong and positive drive for East LA. Probably one of their better drives we'd seen to open a game all season. That's going to get cut short. Falcons will take over on the 14-yard line. Pass out to the right-hand side. That's complete. Little spin move to break one tackle, almost breaks another. It's Rocco Caldarella on the catch and run. So Falcons already in business here with their second possession of the game.
Yeah, and Albert, for you and I, we've been out here all year long watching East LA, the Huskies, and it seems like they always find a way to scuttle their offensive move.
Falcons hand it off. Running up to the left-hand side into Husky territory and out of bounds. That was Josh Kaysen with the carry. And Kaysen's had one heck of a season as well. 582 yards rushing to his name and 11 touchdowns. Averages 4.4 yards per carry.
Yeah, and I'm going to give a lot of love to those offensive linemen I named earlier that are just moving Cerritos down the field.
2nd and short for the Falcons. Flag on the play. It's going to be a false start on Cerritos. So that's going to push him back 5 yards. So a little bit of a gift for East LA defensively, but it's going to take a whole lot more than some dirty laundry on the field to really stop Cerritos.
See, those offensive linemen just want a little more love is what they wanted.
2nd and 7 now for the Falcons. They'll hand it off again to Kaysen, run up the middle. Can't be brought down, but the tackle is still made by number 44, Jonathan Bernal. They're going to mark him short, just shy of the stick, so 3rd and short here for Cerritos. Ball is spotted at about the 44-yard line of East LA. Calvin's got the snap, drops back, pass out to the right-hand side, and incomplete. He was looking for Michael Ashford, who did indeed have the ball right in the nice little basket with his hands in his chest, but it just pops right out. Would have been a great catch and a first down. But Cerritos will have their first 4th down of the day.
And it looks like they're going to keep their offense out there, Albert, just being a yard away. We'll see if East LA can make that big defensive stop right here.
And with the way Cerritos has been moving the ball, it's worth it to try and get it, knowing that you're going to be putting East LA right on their backs to try and come out and do something should they not get the conversion. But they'll go with the carry for Kaysen up the left-hand side. Good enough for the first down. So Cerritos will move the chains. So 1st and 10 on the ELAC 42. They'll hand it off to Kaysen, who immediately runs into a brick wall for East LA. It'll be a gain of at least 1, if anything. And it is indeed going to be 1 small yard of gain, just barely so. Officially 2nd and 10, but they did move the ball just a little bit forward, just not enough to really move the down marker. Calvin throws out to his left-hand side. He finds Kaysen. That's complete. He's going to get the first down, stays on his feet, and is brought down at the 20-yard line.
And a really nice block downfield by Charles Clinton, who the receiver down there knew that the back was coming out of the backfield. So Clinton himself went down in front, made the initial block, and that's what gave him an opportunity to get downfield and stay free.
Calvin's got the snap, hands off to Kaysen, finds a gap on the left-hand side and is tackled at the 10. So that'll be another first down carry for Josh Kaysen. So that'll move the chains. So ball is on the 10-yard line, so 1st and goal for Cerritos. Calvin, plenty of time, throws to the right-hand side. That time, complete to Saxon Vaha. And a flag on the play. We'll see if the touchdown stands, but as of right now, the refs have not indicated as such.
Long discussion on this one. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why the discussion is going on so long if it's a touchdown that stands.
And it should. I didn't really see anything, at least on Saxon Va'a's end. As we have another penalty flag fly, just as the White Hat was about to give us the lowdown. So official ruling is a touchdown on Cerritos. A personal foul on the defense. On sportsmanlike conduct on East LA. And that'll be assessed after the kickoff. So 13-0 in favor of Cerritos pending the extra point. So back to kick. Is Jonathan Ariola, and the kick is up and good. So 14-0 in favor of Cerritos.
And here's what's going to be interesting, because I was looking over at Corey Naylor. Like Corey said, if it's a personal foul, that's during the play. That's 15 yards. All right? Then a dead ball, unsportsmanlike foul, is 15 yards. Those are concurrent. So we'll see what the conversation is. Because one was during the play and one was after the play.
Yeah, this is so weird. You're 100% right. This is
And Corey Nalen, you got it right on the money, because Corey just looked at me and said they're going to kick it from the 35. So if you're trying to figure that out, personal foul was during the touchdown play.
And to be clear, it's 35 of East LA's territory, not from Falcons territory.
And so the play is over after the touchdown. Then you get an unsportsmanlike conduct foul for chirping at somebody, and you tack that in. So that's why they're kicking it from the 35. Guys, this has got to be an onside kick. I would try an onside kick. Ball is on the ground.
It's exactly what they go for, is the onside kick. Ball is picked up and returned by Justin Wyrick, who gets back to about the 18-yard line.
You know, the fun thing is if it had gotten past everybody and rolled into the end zone.
So 1st and 10 for East LA. Ball is actually spotted on the 13-yard line. Valencia throws to the left-hand side. That pass is complete. Gets it to about the 18-yard line, so about a 5-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 5 coming up for your Huskies. Valencia takes a snap, Fakes the handoff, will keep it himself. Runs up to the right-hand side, finds a small gap, and gains about 3 yards on the play. 3rd and short up next for East LA.
And what's interesting is that the Falcons are playing a 3-4, but it's interesting to see what they do with their defensive backs every once in a while on this 3-4 formation. So you'll watch them walk up a linebacker on this when they come back up to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go with 3 down linemen. They're going to go with 4 linebackers. Then they walk up a linebacker. Which linebacker you may not know.
Third down, here we go. They'll hand it off. Finds a gap, gets the first down. So East LA with a good carry to move the chains.
So I didn't get to see East LA last week, but Albert, what's real interesting, they almost have 11 people in the box when you look at them. If they were to walk up a few more people, there would be 11 people up there daring you to throw the football.
It was Bozeman on the carry for the 8-yard first down run. First time he's seen some action in this game. It's been mostly Jared Andrade. Valencia will keep it himself, gets about 3 yards on the rush. And the officials quick to break up some extracurricular activity before we had some flags on the field. So 2nd and 7 coming up here. About 34 seconds or so left on the game clock here in the first quarter. About 5-second differential between the play clock and the game clock, so East LA does have to snap the ball here before the end of the first quarter. Valencia will pass, gonna fall incomplete. Looks like they were going for number 80, Jacob Corral. So 3rd and 7 for East LA. 7.7 seconds left here in the game. East LA able to get the snap off and avoid the delay of game. Pass will fall incomplete. And there should definitely be some flags flying right about now. There they go. Saw a Cerritos player just stay prolonged in one of an ELAC offensive lineman's face. But, you know, it's not really who starts at mark, it's who tries to do anything about it. And that really is probably going to be on East LA.
Well, I'm looking. I don't see a hanky on the ground. They all engaged with what was going on, but nobody threw a flag.
Oh, it's right by the white hat.
It's
okay. Right on the floor in between their little huddle.
Okay, all right.
But that is the end of the first quarter. Second quarter coming up shortly. See, there it is right on the 25.
Oh, there it is. There's the little snot rag. Okay.
So personal foul. Oh, it's actually going to go against Cerritos.
Offsetting penalties.
So, yeah, so it looks like Cerritos did get flagged for at least instigating, but East LA got flagged for the retaliation.
And here's the big question. Was the quarter over when the penalty happened? They're saying it is, which, you know, everybody at home says thank you. So we move to the other end of the field.
Yeah, because I think by the time the ball had fallen dead on the floor, made contact on the ground, there were already zeros on the board. So all that contact came after the play was both over and zeros were on the board.
There we go. Okay.
Thanks so much. Does someone get ejected? No. Oh, it says offside. Okay, back down.
So it'll be 4th and 7 here for East LA to start the fourth quarter. They're going to punt things away.
Corey Nayland had a coup going on, taking over his SID here at East LA. We saw that.
Here's the kick. Decent kick for East LA. It's going to take a nice, favorable Husky bounce, and will get down at the 20-yard line for Cerritos. Probably one of the better punts we've seen all year for this Husky team.
Yeah, favorable bounce. And really, Albert, when you look at it, we go into the second quarter, and we almost felt like at the end of the first quarter it was done.
Yeah.
But give it to East LA. They've kept themselves into the game. They're only down by 2. If they get lucky enough to pick something off, make a couple defensive stops, they're back in this game here. If you're a Husky fan, this is a spicy little football team. They've had some bad breaks, but they've stuck around in many of their football games.
It is an uphill battle statistically for East LA against a Cerritos team. But if you can at least do your best, try and keep it close, it can at least still be a moral victory, knowing that you at least did your best against one of the tougher teams in Southern California.
And remember, at halftime, Corey Nayland will be on in the air going and talking about maybe his all-conference teams or his all-state teams. So stick around at halftime for Mr. Corey Nayland, one of the voices at Fullerton College football, at Saddleback College football.
That was Adamora on the carry for Cerritos, second down here. Almost fumbled the snap, but able to recover. Ball is tipped away, but will fall incomplete. He was trying to get it into the hands of Adamora.
Nice turnout by the ELAC faithful tonight and across the way with Cerritos.
So 3rd and 5 here for Cerritos. Calvin will get the snap. It's going to be a pass play. He'll keep it himself and gets tripped up and brought down. Short gain of 2. And it's going to be another 4th down for Cerritos. And for the first time all game for the Falcons, they're going to punt it away. Here's a snap. Kick is up and away. Fair catch signaled by Jonas Leal Paz of East LA. Fair catch called at about the 30-yard line, so that's where East LA will start things off here in the second quarter. A little over 13 minutes to go here in the first half. East LA down by 2 scores. Cameron Jones in at wide receiver, going far right, top of your screen with the red sleeves. Damari Taylor, left-hand side, lower portion of your screen. They'll hand it off. Nope, we're going to keep it, and is immediately trucked over by Clarence Chansey. on the tackle.
Yeah, big linebacker that plays out there for Cerritos. Got a lot of speed in his position, breaks well on the ball, and that's what you like about him.
So officially, I think that is a sack for Chansey.
Yeah,
Sorry, Cheney. Totally thought there was a C in that name. Clarence Cheney. Little high snap, but they'll hand it off. And it'll be another loss on the play. It was Andrade on the carry. It will be a loss of about 2 on the play.
So you'll watch Cerritos. They like to change out their defensive line. They keep their linebackers in there. They don't necessarily change them out as quickly as they do with the defensive line when they're out there. And that's the thing that makes it real interesting when you look at them, as Clarence Cheney is just basically he's the right linebacker, but when you look at it now, they go with a 4-3. As they walk everybody up again within 10 yards.
Valencia has a snap, breaks free of some tackles, tries to get some positive yards, but it's still brought down short of the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 4th down coming up for East LA.
First step by all the linebackers by Cerritos is forward. They don't freeze. They don't stop. They're breaking as you watch Rocky, Jack, and Cheney and Castro as linebackers for Chafee make big plays.
A little bit of a short punt here. Bounces at the 45, but continues a little bit more, gains about 10 more yards off that bounce. Ball will be spotted at the 30. So 1st and 10 for Cerritos on their own 30-yard line. Up 14-0. Here's the snap. They'll hand it off. This time to number 4. That's Romeo Clark on the 1st down carry. And in at quarterback for the Falcons is Nick Miali. Miali will take the snap, hands it off once again to Clark, and another gap for the 1st down. He's not knocked down yet. Gets to the 10 and brought down just shy of the 5-yard line. So a huge 1st down run for the huge running back, Romeo Clark. All 5'10", 205 pounds.
Albert, I was going to say, watch those big old linemen like Leo Medi get down there. They make the initial block, and then they go downfield with the running back here for Cerritos.
Clark still in at running back as well as Miali in at quarterback. Here's snap. They'll hand it off again. Clark to the right-hand side, finds a gap, breaks a tackle, and into the end zone for a touchdown.
Romeo Clark takes it the rest of the way. In for the Falcons touchdown.
So Romeo Clark gets his first action of the game for Cerritos, and within 3 plays puts them into the end zone. 20-0, pending the kick after. Here's the kick from Areola, and whistles fly are blown before the kick went through the upright. So I think it would have been good. but it's going to be a false start on Cerritos. So that's going to back him up a little bit, but still should be a manageable kick for Jonathan Areola.
Back to the 8-yard line. They'll retry.
Who's the recorder over there?
Calvin, the holder. Kick is up, and kick is good. So Jonathan Areola, perfect so far in all of his extra points. Falcons lead your East LA Huskies 21-0 with 9 minutes and 35 seconds remaining here in our first half of play. And already, Mark, it's looking like it's pretty much all Cerritos so far.
Yeah, they really have. And there's been times that you thought on a run play or pass play from East LA that they've done something positive once again. And, you know, again, I'm going to be Pollyanna and side on the side of East LA and the way they've gone. The team has looked well this year. They've had mishaps. They've had players that have gotten injured. They have players in this game that have now decided that it's that time of season. I've got to start looking towards the next year. And nobody blames a player for that.
Here is the kick, up and away. And a big, decent return here. It's number 14 on the return. That's Nazar Reed. Normally a defensive back for East LA. This time a return for the normally defensive player for East LA. So 1st and 10 from the 28. And you know, Mark, you know, like we've seen, you know, quite a few ELAC games this year. And, you know, they've definitely seen their fair share of penalties in various games that have, you know, shot themselves in the foot one way or the other. But I will say, you know, there hasn't really been a whole lot of flags that they've seen in this game that have been really holding them back. They've just simply have been bested on certain plays as we got a first down run here.
Yeah, that's happened right here, Albert. But even in this game, I mean, you can look at a couple penalties that came up, hurt them at the wrong times, and we've seen that. And usually for the teams that are not going to make it into the playoffs, that becomes a bugaboo that will hurt them no matter what name is on their jersey.
First down.
Flags fly here. False start on East LA, so that's going to back them up 5 yards before they can really get going.
Take the ball back to the 36-yard line.
So 1st and 15 from the 36.
You know, if they were doing really well, you'd say they're padding their stats because they'd go backwards and then get those as a running back. So, you know.
They fake the handoff. Or actually, I'm not quite sure what the carry was like, but it was a handoff to James Thomas III. Run to the right-hand side. Short gain of about maybe 2 yards. So 2nd and long here for East LA. They've done a decent job so far of running the ball, but really not so much in terms of their passing yards. Only 52 yards through the air so far today for East LA. We'll see if some penalty flags fly here. They don't, so they'll keep those in their pockets for the time being. But it is a solid little 3-yard run. Gets them back to the original line of scrimmage and a little bit more. So 3rd and 9 here for East LA. In on the field at wide receiver now is Cameron Jones in the red Under Armour.
And basically what you got a timeout for is an official will look at a player and see how the player is doing, if they think there's something wrong, if there's something wrong with equipment, if there's something wrong physically. This is where the officials will look for the well-being of the player. So I commend the white hat on that one, thinking somebody needs a little either equipment or physical help on the play.
So Thomas and a quarterback. He'll take the snap. Pass up the middle. Broken up. Should have been pass interference, but they're not going to get the call. And it looks like it should have been an easy enough call to make. Very clearly, Ezra Mueller with the interference, and East LA not getting the call.
The Huskies are in punt formation. They're on 42-yard line.
So East LA going to punt it away. Should have been an automatic first down, but they're not going to get it. Kick is up. And it's going to be Va'a on the return. Gets it to the Cerritos 40. And now we have some more flags flying after the play. We'll see what the ruling on the field is.
Return by Zach Maya. 13 yards on the return.
And Albert, there's been a lot of post flags in this game when you think about it. And this one is going to be against East LA.
So 1st and 10 for Cerritos, 6 minutes, 27 seconds left. They're on the ELAC 45. So personal foul on East LA.
After the play, personal foul on the Huskies. Advances the ball 15 yards.
This will be a 15-yard penalty. I think that's where they're currently assessing it now.
1st and 10.
Yeah, because Va'a took it to the 40, so 15 yards. Yeah, that's where they currently are now on the ELAC 45. That is where Cerritos will take over.
Formation for Nick Miali, the Falcons quarterback.
Miali in at quarterback. Pass is complete to number 10, Malachi Wright. Gain of 4 on the play.
Generous spot.
8 to 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Very. Looked like he had only gotten 2 on the play.
I'm with you, Albert. I thought that's what he got also.
He must have had one heck of a reach. They'll hand it off. This is to Josh Kaysen. Breaks a tackle and brought down at the 30-yard line. It'll be a first down carry on the tackle. It was Nazar Reed.
And we get
And
another
penalty flag.
Wow. Kaysen plants his foot, makes the cut. When he plants his foot, he comes back in, then accelerates quickly, which allows him to get down the field.
And a late flag on the field.
So unsportsmanlike conduct,
It's a dead ball.
which is a dead ball foul on Cerritos. So that's going to back him up.
So that'll be 1st and
And you know, that's one of the big guys. When offensive linemen turn around and do both hands out, you know it's on them, and somebody's saying, no. I'm not your mama. Don't come crying to me.
So 15-yard penalty on the Falcons as East LA catches a little bit of a break. That backs them up to the Husky 42. So it's still going to be 1st and 10, but backed up to the 42. So it's not going to be 1st and forever. Miali still in at QB. Gets a snap, hands off to Kaysen, finds a gap on the right-hand side. Good for a 1st down.
Josh Casson with the run. Good for a Falcons 1st down. At the 28-yard line.
Because with that O-line, you have a great O-line. You can do anything. This is probably the best O-line.
Fall is coming. Moisture in the air. The tape's deciding it doesn't want to cooperate with us. That means rain's right around the corner.
They'll hand it off to Kaysen and breaks the tackle and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. Almost a tackle for loss. Would have been a great tackle made there by Jalen Green. Comes up a little bit short on the tackle for Kaysen. 4:25 left here in the 2nd quarter going into halftime. Miali, pass to the left, incomplete. Trying to find number 13, Trey Pickney.
Just a little out of reach in the flat. Ball's incomplete. 3rd and 10.
So Kaysen will go to the sidelines. In now at running back is going to be Nicholas Adamora. Pickney out wide left. Wide right is Malachi Wright for Cerritos. Miali has the snap. Gets hit big time for a sack. On the tackle, number 15, Roberto Sabalos with a huge sack for East LA. That's going to force a 1st down. How about that for East LA, showing a little bit of defensive life here?
I do like it. And I mean, he comes off the corner, he beats the lineman, and then he takes the crown of the helmet and puts it in the proper place to make a legitimate tackle.
So Cerritos will punt it away and will bounce into the end zone. Going to be a touchback.
The punt ends up going over the line and into the end zone.
So East LA able to prevent Cerritos from finding the end zone for only the 2nd time today. Still have yet to find daylight themselves. They have 3.5 minutes to try and get on the board here before they go into halftime, but they will get the ball coming out of the half.
From with the pass on Instagram, watch the story of football unfold all season long. For exclusive game day footage, graphics, photos, player stories, and more, follow ELAC Football on the gram at ELAC.
So it looks like Thomas III here is going to continue playing quarterback. Takes a good direct snap and gets tripped up in the backfield. No gain.
Thomas with the quarterback keeper tripped up and loss of 1 yard.
And we have an injured Husky on the field. The athletic trainers will attend to him. And a timeout on the field. We'll step away for a moment to let the trainers do their job. You're watching Husky football right here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we're back from the injury timeout as our injured Husky is being assisted off the field. Brandon Valencia back in at quarterback. Valencia has a snap. He'll pass to the left. He's got a connection to number 3. Gets a first down. He's still running. Brought down just past the 45-yard line. That's Jaden Thomas with the catch.
Just throw a quick out and then tell somebody to beat the defensive back, and that's what he does. You've got to make that first step. Get the pass to him, put him in neutral area, and then say, show me you're a better athlete than the person who's playing against you.
Good for a Husky. First down.
So 1st and 10 from the Cerritos 44-yard line. Here's a snap. Pass to Victor Rodriguez. Penalty flag in the secondary. We'll see what the call is.
Thomas's pass to number 11, Victor Rodriguez.
It's going to be holding on the offense.
He's going to be taken back. A holding call on the Huskies.
So that's going to bring East LA back
10 yards.
into their own territory.
Line of scrimmage. It's going to be 1st and 20.
1st and 20 now for East LA.
And that takes us to the 2 minutes here before the end of the half. Albert, once again, East LA on the move. They make a great pass play. And then what happens on the next play?
Offensive holding.
It just seems like that's been the Christmas wish.
And really, that's probably been their largest penalty offensively here tonight. Like, they had the turnover, just came up short in some other possessions, but there really wasn't anything that in terms of like, oh, like this particular penalty cost us this drive, like we did it to ourselves. It was no, most of the other possessions was Cerritos was just simply beating them in every single aspect of the game. Here, it's like, okay, now we're finally getting it moving, and now we shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen all year. Those 1 or 2 plays that have stepped up for a very energetic and talented East LA team that is just putting the wheels on the carts, people. I tell you what, stick around with East LA, with their football teams, their basketball teams, their softball or baseball teams, because they've got a lot of talent here at East LA College.
Direct snap to Thomas III. Gain of 4 on the play.
James Thomas with the keeper. Gain of 4 yards. 2nd and 16.
So Thomas III will come to the sideline after the play. Looked a little bit hobbled after his keeper. Valencia will pass up the middle, is complete. Going to be just shy of the first down. That's Jaden Thomas with the catch. Little over a minute remaining here in the second quarter. We'll see what East LA has left in them. Valencia still in at quarterback. And the pass is intercepted. It's number 20 with the interception. And he's going to be brought down at the 20-yard line. Cameron Jones was the intended receiver, and he was in the middle of that foot race trying to get a hold of number 20 for the defense. That was Keon Andrew with the interception for Cerritos.
And he's got speed. Not only does he play cornerback, but he's the kick returner for this Falcon team. So, you know, people will say defensive backs have so-so speed. You get your kick returner that's back there. That gives them a little extra juice, and they move quicker.
So timeout called by East LA with 40 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
So Fullerton lost today. Golden West College wins. Big victory. Saddleback loses today. Wins today. El Camino loses. Playoff termination there possibly for El Camino. Then you look at Mount Sac, who won. Well, they lost. So Mount Sac could be, now you're going to say in? So Corey Nayland's going to be on the air. That's what I'm looking at right now. He'll be on the air at halftime. Besides looking at his teams, he's going to give you the update and what he thinks may happen in the playoff picture here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
First and 10, 40 seconds remaining here for Cerritos. Miali in at quarterback. They'll hand it off for a run up the middle. Nicholas Adamora with the carry and lots of whistles. I didn't see a flag fly.
Timeout.
But a timeout called by Cerritos.
This is about to be a 2-minute, 34 seconds.
And we do have somebody down, too, Albert, on the field.
The athletic trainers quick to respond to the injured Husky on the field.
Did they get the timeout back, though? Yeah? He's the injured. Yeah, they should get the timeout. They should get the timeout.
So we'll step away for the moment for the injury timeout. We're watching Husky football right here on Sportsnet USA.net. So we're back off the injury timeout. Injured Husky on the field was number 94, Jordan Cook, but is able to go to the sideline under his own power. So that is a positive update on that particular injury. So we had an official blow the whistle before the snap, but I didn't see any flag fly, so I don't think it was a pre-snap penalty or anything like that. They probably just want to try to get something clear.
Yeah, I was going to guess and say on the timeouts, even though there was an injury timeout, you had Cerritos call the timeout. So you look at it, do you give them their timeout back? Do you not give them their timeout back? I think that's the big question was. Same guy just said now.
But
East
now
LA
an actual
coming.
timeout calling on the field for East LA. They had two, so now one timeout remaining with 29 seconds left. And sure, why not? I mean, it's like, are we here to play football or are we here to call timeouts at 29 seconds going into halftime?
They ain't thinking about the press box.
No, you're not. They were on a track for 54 minutes
I mean, like, did they not get things cleared up for what play you wanted to run, like, while they were attending to the injury? Yeah, it's your own guy, but, I mean, you do have to take that time to address what you're going to do.
Yeah, Cerritos should just kneel down right now just for fun.
They'll call a timeout just to tick me off. They got 2 more remaining. Here's a snap. Miali takes his time, steps up. He'll keep it himself. He'll get the first down and is brought down shy of the end zone. So almost a touchdown keeper for Nick Miali.
Runs all the way down to the 2-yard line. First and goal, Cerritos. Timeout, Falcons.
So Falcons able to call the timeout and stop the clock with 19 seconds remaining. They should have 1 timeout left. In at running back for Cerritos is number 5, Nicholas Adamora. Miala still in at quarterback. And they'll hand it off to Adamora. Flag on the play. If it stands, it is a touchdown.
Nicholas Adamora with the touchdown run. There is some laundry on the field.
So we'll have a meeting of the officials here.
There's going to be stories told about the last 31st seconds versus the ELAC game.
So Adamora, a bounce back for Cerritos. He went to East Washington University after he went to Mayfair High School. So now he's back in California. Yes.
So here's the white hat about to give the official ruling on the field. So the official ruling is a touchdown.
Illegal substitution.
It was a legal substitution on East LA.
Penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Is that a personal foul?
No, it's 12. Yeah, it is, right?
It's a personal foul. Foul. I think foul. We won't put the personal foul.
Oh, just 5? Yeah.
So 27-0 in favor of Cerritos, pending the point after.
Number 30.
Kick is up. And no good. So one thing I noticed differently on that particular kick attempt, normally it had been Jeremiah Calvin holding the ball. This time it was actually number 16, who I'm going to assume was J.P. Gonzalez holding the snap.
Yeah, so something could have been wrong with the holder, or just because at this stage of the game they've got a 4-touchdown lead, they might decide to try somebody new.
Scores now Cerritos 27, East LA 0.
So 14 seconds left here in our second quarter. Cerritos leading your ELAC Huskies 27-0.
Ready to kick off for the
They've had some positive gains here and there, but nothing enough to really get them across that goal line.
Huskies, Victor Rodriguez and James Thomas.
And East LA making some positive moves here as a penalty flag flies.
James Thomas with the return.
It was Jaden Thomas on the return for East LA.
A 30-yard return, but we do have a flag on the play.
And a player down.
So it'll be an injury timeout on the field. We'll step away for the moment as the trainers take to the injured player. You're watching Husky football right here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we're back from the injury timeout. Injured player on the field was Nazar Reed. And the flag on the play, or at least on the return, was a blindside block on East LA. So that's going to back them up a solid amount of yards from the 30-yard line. So they'll take over on about the 12-yard line. Ball is loose on the carry. And they'll take it out of bounds, and zeros are on the board. That's going to at least take us to halftime.
The Husky run results in a fumble picked up by the Falcons, but he's driven out of bounds.
So that was Andrade with the carry, who does fumble the ball, recovered by Cerritos, trying to take it into the end zone to put a score going into halftime, but knocked out of bounds. So going into halftime, Falcons 27, Huskies nothing.
That 34 seconds was so long. I would say like
So halftime will be about 20 minutes in length. In the meantime, we do have a treat for y'all. You get to listen to a wonderful little conversation between our very own Mark Pavlovich and Mr. Corey Nalen. Corey, how you doing?
Yay, I'm good. That was the longest 34 seconds I've seen and been a part of in a while.
It's been a minute, and we've seen some long 34 seconds.
I was going to say, we could go back to a game that we could never finish a fourth quarter in here at East LA. What was that, 2.5 hours to get through the last 5 minutes?
And, you know, this game had really been moving quite along up until then. It was like, cool, let's just go ahead and use all our timeouts, even though we don't need them.
That's it. That's it. Well, Mr. Nalen, it's nice to have you on the air as we look at some of the interesting outcomes of today's games. And now that we look at who lost, we could end up saying, boy, there's certain teams that lost. If they just could have held on to where they were when the day started, there might be a different entry of who's in the playoffs and who's not. But I know you're not only going to talk about that. You got your picks for some of the top players here in the SCFA.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have fun right now. No, it's one of those things that you look forward to. Sometimes you look forward to the last game of the season, the last games of the season, and this season has been wonderful with the new playoff format when they have the 6 teams and the top 2 teams get that bye. And you're looking at those top 2 teams right now coming into the day being Ventura and Golden West getting those byes because Ventura was the number 2 team in the state and Golden West was the top team in the state. So you think they're getting it in no matter what. And in the second quarter, Ventura is currently leading Mount Sac.
Oh, I thought it was over.
No. They started at the same time. They're currently leading Mount Sac 30-14.
It's over.
In the second quarter. Nah, not really. There's 1 minute left. It'll be interesting because we go back to the first game of the day. And those 6 teams that you're looking for in SoCal coming into the game were Golden West, Ventura, El Camino, Saddleback, Cerritos, and Mount Sac. So those 6 teams, and Fullerton, you're looking on the outside
Of the candy store, yeah.
Yes. And so the first game of the day, you're thinking, okay, if you're a Fullerton fan, if they win the ball game and somehow East LA can beat Cerritos, then they got a chance to get in. Or if El Camino, somehow beats Saddleback or if Saddleback beats El Camino sometime, no, that was never going to happen.
Yeah, those are 3 eggs I cracked open and made myself an omelet with, and they were not good tasting eggs.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
And even if it happens, they weren't making the playoffs.
No.
And you have to be fooling yourselves if you thought they were going to make the playoffs. They lose the Golden West anyway, so it's a moot point, 33-22.
Yeah, and it wasn't a close game.
No, and so you got Fullerton out. And so that really leaves, and that's Cerritos or Fullerton out, but Cerritos, they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
They're that surprise team making the playoffs. They're going to join Golden West in the playoffs. Golden West is going to get that bye. Ventura is getting in no matter what.
Right.
Mount Sac, if they lose today, because Fullerton lost,
I'm not sure they're going to get in.
they're getting in.
You sure?
Yes, I am. I'm positive they're getting in. And then you have Saddleback and El Camino. Because in a perfect world where you look at the top 2 teams in each conference would get into the playoffs, those are the top 2 teams in each conference.
Okay.
So they're going to get into the playoffs. And I could be wrong.
Well,
I don't know. That doesn't matter. But
Well, wait a minute. If Mount Sac loses today, what's their overall record?
They're still getting in. They're 8-2.
What's their conference record?
They've lost 1 in conference if they lose. No, it's 2 in conference.
Yeah.
But still they get in because those are the only 2 games they've lost this season. Plus they're ranked number 4 in the state. So there's no way they're not getting in. It's Mount Sac.
It's Mother May I.
Yes.
Yeah, always.
Cerwin can tell you. I'm sorry, I just threw Cerwin under the bus. No, but that's one of those things. So Mount Sac is going to get in.
Okay.
Because they're ranked number 4 and because they're Mount Sac. So you're going to have the 6 teams in the playoffs. Golden West, Ventura, they're going to get a bye if Ventura beats Mount Sac and they don't come back. So Mount Sac gets in. There's another 3rd team. Saddleback gets in. El Camino will get in because they finished the first 2. Top 2 in the National Southern League standings. So Ventura and Saddleback and El Camino, they make it because 7 wins for Saddleback, no losses, 6 wins for El Camino, 1 loss. Riverside ain't going nowhere with those 3 losses. And then you have Cerritos rounding out the bunch. And it's going to be interesting between who's going to be those surprise teams or not. Ventura's looked strong all season long, but Golden West looks like the best team this season.
Saddleback doesn't look bad either, and they're getting stronger as the season's gone on.
And up north, we talk about those 6 teams real quick. That's going to be College of San Mateo. It's going to be Diablo Valley. It's going to be City College of San Francisco. It's going to be Butte. It'll be Modesto and Fresno City College, according to SportsNetUSA.net.
So we got the teams out of the way.
Yeah. So, and you look at the bowl games, And so those are the playoff teams. And you look at, we skipped playoff games.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting matchup if you take a look at who's the possibilities of playing in the playoffs and the matchup. So you Golden West Ventura, they'll get the buys.
Yeah,
assuming,
so they get a week off.
Assuming they get it. So who's the third best team? Who's the fourth? Who's the fifth? Who's the sixth?
Well, if Mount Sac gets in, I put them as 6.
Yeah.
They should definitely be 6 if we look at them.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to look, I'm probably going to, Corey, I know it probably sounds wrong, but I'm going to put El Camino at 5 in this whole thing. So I'm going to have Riverside playing El Camino.
No, Riverside's not in it.
I mean, not Riverside. Who did I just say? Mount Sac.
Yeah.
I'm going to have Mount Sac and El Camino play each other. Is 5 versus 6?
No,
is
it's
that
3. It's 3 versus 6.
Oh, it's 3.
So it's going to be Saddleback
versus
would be the 3 team versus Mount Sac.
Okay.
Cerritos
will take on El Camino.
will take on El Camino.
Okay.
So that's interesting that you see
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And Saddleback will be at home.
Saddleback will be at home, and and Cerritos will be
Be
at
at
home.
home.
So
Okay.
it'll be an interesting.
Matchup the way that it's looking. I'd have to lean towards Saddleback, and the way that Cerritos is finishing their year, I would have to lean on Cerritos. The way they're finishing their, those are the two that I'm going to say that would, if that's the matchups, if that's make-believe matchups work, then I'm going to say I've got them coming out, taking the number 1 team and the number 2 team, Ventura and Golden West, however that gets laid out.
And then you look at the bowls and the national bowls. They get 3. We're going to assume they get 3 because Albert's talked about this with Ed Ford, Ryan Osborne, me. You've been talking about it all season long.
There's going to be a lot of bowls of food. You don't mean football bowls,
but
do you?
Each team would be over 500.
You sure?
Yes. Fullerton versus Riverside at Riverside. Southwestern College at Moore Park College. Both teams over 500. Citrus would play Pasadena City College. So those would be your
those work.
6 teams and the 3 bowl games.
Okay.
You look over to the American Division, and then you're going to look at San Bernardino Valley College versus Antelope Valley in a bowl game. West LA versus either Glendale or Grossmont in another bowl game. And then the championship game would be Santa Monica versus Victor Valley.
Yeah, which is, to me, surprising. Victor Valley's playing in the championship game. I mean, I know they've got a good team, but it wasn't a team that I necessarily thought would make it to the American Conference Bowl. Because if you win or get there, they're looking to put you up into the next bracket and taking teams that didn't do that well and dropping them back in the American Conference. If I'm either one of those teams, I say leave me alone. I'll stay in the American Conference. Thank you.
And I think that would actually work, though.
Yeah, it would, but I would leave them. I would leave them right. Leave the teams that are weaker teams where they're at right now and let them build their program.
You still wish what we could do, what the 3C 2A should do, is have that American Division Championship as well.
Yes, I agree.
You have the championship game down here in the north, south, up in the north. De Anza versus one of those teams would be interesting, or whoever, Los Medanos against one of those teams, and have an American Division Championship as well. And you go back to the scores. Canyons finished under 500. They beat Bakersfield 17-10. Up north, San Mateo over Laney 52-20. Riverside rounds out the season 65-27 over San Diego Mesa.
And you sure when we're checking out a score, we showed up 99 points in a football game today, and Compton wasn't involved.
Yeah, and West LA 38-24 over Santa Monica. Saddleback 49-7 over El Camino. Shasta 37-34 over Santa Rosa. Citrus 51-31 winners over Allen Hancock, making sure they're over 500. 28-15 Coalinga over Merced. Feather River beat Siskiyous, so it'll be interesting on who gets that, Feather River or Los Medanos up north.
Right.
Modesto Sequoias knocks Sequoias out of any playoff contention, 33-27. Mark just mentioned it. De Anza over Cabrillo, 99-3.
That's just amazing.
Go home and see what happened on that. Butte 24, Sierra 21, Fresno City 77, Reedley 24, Sac City no score. And the important score, let's just drop on down to it. 37-14. Excuse me. Yeah, 37-14 Ventura over Mount Sac.
Go, baby, go.
There you go. So that's playoffs. That's your scores. That's the polls and what could happen. And if you listen to me, like I make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that what will happen. And you said we were going to talk some all-conference teams and players.
Yeah, and let's get, because I know maybe we might not get back in the air, because I really want to know who you got. I'm going to get away from the all-conference teams. Just give me the all-conference players so we have enough time, because I already know my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. You've got him as co-Defensive Player of the Year.
Then go ahead.
Okay?
What you got?
And I've got Ethan
Charpentier
Charpentier out there because of what he did. You know, he was averaging over 11.1 tackles per game. He was a beast today in a losing cause against Golden West College. I'm going to give him back-to-back Defensive Players of the Year.
Yeah.
And then you can disagree with me if you want to.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you, but there's two players on Cerritos that you got to look at that should make the all-conference team. In linebackers, Rocky Jack and Clarence Cheney. Those two would make the all-conference team. And at East LA on the first-teamers, you got Travion Baker, who's got 4 interceptions and leads the team in tackles, one of the tops in the Central League. And David Chukwumeka, who leads the league in tackles for loss at East LA. And Chukwumeka's not playing today. But those would be the first-team all-conference if you saw them. And on the defensive side of the ball, Ethan Charpentier would be, again, a co-defensive player of the year, along with Brandon Solo, who plays at Golden West, because that defense is just too good not to have a player of the year be selected. And those would be the two defensive players of the year for the SCFA National Central League.
You know what? You know who would agree with you for that Golden West College pick? Nick Mitchell, the head coach of Golden West College.
Yeah, and on the offensive side of the ball, here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. Albert, which offensive player really stood out to you this season, said, my goodness, where's Ramondre Stevenson? Where's Hollywood Brown? Where's the Gabriel Floyd? Where are those guys? Have you seen them this year?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't seen them. On the offensive side, you'd say a lot of good players, but I don't think you've got an outstanding offensive player.
And that's where you look at Jeremiah Calvin, who's been probably the best quarterback in conference, and what he's done. Brother of Josh Calvin, who went to Fullerton, by the way. And then you look at, and here was my top 2 picks for Player of the Year.
I'm ready.
J.T. Weir, wide receiver for Fullerton, an all-purpose leader in the conference. And Tanner Schmidt, who we saw from Golden West.
He's talented.
Wide receiver and second in all-purpose yards in the conference. And because of today's game, the nod goes to Tanner Schmidt for Player of the Year, because we're going to base it on those wins this season and the season that they've had, because it's not only an individual, but it's a team award as well.
Any D1 school will take both those receivers.
Yes, they would. And we're going to mention a guy who wanted to give a shout-out, this is his final season as being the best SID in the 3C2A.
I already beat you to that one.
Now, you did it dirty. You did it dirty, because we said we were going to talk about that at halftime.
I know, but I was gonna get anything on this one.
Dirty.
Go ahead, though.
No.
Go ahead, because you should give him a shout-out, because you know him as well as I do.
John Van Gassen, he's been the best for a long time.
Yes, he has.
And
SID that gives you everything you want, kindest man you would meet. The only time John may give you a dirty look is if he says, Corey, Mark, don't do that. We go ahead and do it. We'd never get invited back to Cerritos. John, we wish you the best. You have always been a true gentleman and helped us whenever you can when we've been around there. Corey and I love you, and yes, I agree with you. One of the best, if not the best, SIDs we've ever dealt with.
And it's interesting that we're here at East LA.
Another great one.
Because it's like a transition, the turnover of who's taking the torch of being the best and one of the best.
Man sitting right next
Mr.
to Albert.
Haynes right next to Albert. There's your next up-and-comer. I just asked you how long he's been here. I've been here 7 years. Oh yeah, he's the man
He's
who's
the
got
next
something
guy.
going, and he's the next guy to say who's the best SID in 3C2A. Well, that dude over there in East LA.
So who do you have for the rest or anybody else close to the conference with 4 minutes to go we ought to talk about?
Oh, okay. Which side? Offense or defense?
I like the defensive side.
Defensive side of the ball. We mentioned the gentleman from East LA, Cruz Wheeler from Golden West, Kakama Cosma from Golden West, Drew Faulkner from Golden West. And that's just the guys just based on stats. Did the 145, prep.
On
So you
that
didn't
one?
look at it too much. You didn't go too deep. Des Palomalo, who didn't play today, at Fullerton Coleman Morning at Pasadena City College, and Tyler Lewis at Bakersfield College. Those are some of the guys who stood up stat-wise in the Central League and played well on the offensive side of the ball. 2 running backs from Bakersfield, Daniel Nettles and Ian Jernigan, who both had over 750 yards coming into today's games. As all-conference performers, Josh Kaysen, who see here at Cerritos, who has 11 touchdowns coming into this game, would also and should also be on that all-conference team. Charles Clinton II, just based on numbers, you would pick them. But again, based on numbers is where you sat here, but there's a lot of good receivers out there. Jonathan Alexander here at East LA should make an all-conference selection, either first team or second team. Logan Ebnett, also here.
Out here, yes. He
12
should.
touchdowns, 12 interceptions, but he was second in passing in all of the SCFA. Ethan Hubble, who's a wide receiver at Pasadena. Oa, and I'm not even going to say his last name because he said it a lot today. Oa over at Golden West, the quarterback. And Chris Lunsberg.
Okay, I was going to see if you were going to put Chris on there.
Yeah. May see the all-conference team somewhere. After today's ball game, if there's 2 teams, it just might be Jeremiah and Kona Oa over at Golden West to make those teams. And I'm not sure, based on the team, not sure I wouldn't put Logan ahead of Chris Lunsberg.
Really? I like Chris.
I do
I
too.
think he had a really bad day today. I got to ask you before you get off the air and we go in the second half. Any surprises in the playoffs? If you looked at the teams that are all going to make it, would you say, I didn't think they'd get this far? Or you say,
No.
yeah, this is what I thought?
No, because this is the teams that were going to make the playoffs anyway, no matter what you do to the things and change it and however you want to do it and mystify people and make it convoluted. These were the teams that was getting in.
Convoluted. Wait a minute. SCFA 3C2A. I can't spell convoluted with those letters.
No, but it's pretty much what you expected.
You know, so no surprises. Do you got to pick who you want to put your name out there and say who's going to win the whole thing right now?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I'm not calling the game. I don't care.
You know, that's what it is. He'll tell you what peanut butter and jelly should be made like, but when you ask him just to put his name on a champion, he won't do it. That just shows you peanut butter and jelly is much more important to Corey Nalen than naming a champion in the 3C, 2A, or the SCFA.
Who's going to win it, Mark?
I'm going with Golden West College. After seeing them today, you told me how good they were. Now I saw how good they were. Nick Mitchell, I think this is Nick Mitchell's year. I'd like to see Saddleback because we do their games, but I think Nick Mitchell is going to pull it off. They've got defense, offense, and you talked about their receiver. I love that kid today. He was pretty darn special. Well, Albert, you heard a couple East LA guys making all-conference team for Mr. Nalen today.
Yeah.
So,
Logan Ebnett getting some love. 1-to-1 ratio on his touchdowns or interceptions, but the man has thrown for over 2,000 yards this year. That's saying something for this ELAC team.
yeah, and you got the man that you've talked about a great deal on the defensive side.
Yeah, Mr. David Chukwemeka, who we know has a whole bunch of offers, for D1 and a bunch of other schools. We'll see where he ends up. Like, he should have, ideally a very promising career, considering he had never picked up a football until maybe 6 months ago.
Deferring their choice will receive the second half kickoff at the West Goal.
So we get ready for a little second half football here on sports at USA.net.
Back to receive the
Want to thank Corey Nalen for giving you the rundown on all the playoffs and the players here in the SCFA, the 3C 2A for football, and getting you all set up for the playoffs and how everything's going on. And, you know, normally we do a 45-minute show, but, you know, maybe that'll be down when playoff starts. Ed Ford will invite us down to Saddleback, and it'll be the Corey Nalen corner.
Ball is loose on the return, but player was already down before the ball popped out. It was Nazir Reed on the return for East LA. Gets it back to the 20-yard line, so that's where they'll begin here in the second half. Valencia in at quarterback for East LA. Fake the handoff. They get it to Cameron Jones, whose own player is tackled into him. So it looks like he was brought down by his own offensive lineman. It's going to be a tackle for loss, officially, loss of 2 on the play.
For Brandon Valencia to Jonas Leopold. A 3-yard loss. 2nd and 13.
Valencia has a snap. He hands it off. Runs it up the gut. Gain of 2. And they get it back to the original line of scrimmage at the 20.
You know, I find it unusual right now because, Albert, I know when I was over at Fullerton, you used to have uniformity, and you've got a guy out there in his bright red shirt for East LA right there.
That'd be Cameron Jones. This is probably the first game that I've seen him play in all season that we've been doing the games here on SportsNetUSA.net, so definitely in to get some end-of-year tape.
It's like, okay, refs, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. I have to go talk to Tom Deep on that one.
Valencia takes a snap. Rolls right, pass up the middle, complete to Victor Rodriguez. Just shy of the sticks.
Pass complete to Rodriguez. Out to the 28-yard line. That'll be 4th down and 2.
So 4th and 2, and East LA will bring on their special teams to punt it away. Back to return is number 3, Saxon Va'a.
Kicking for the Huskies.
Kick is up. Va'a has it. No fair catch. He's going to return it. Breaks one tackle. And another finds a gap. Breaks free. He's got daylight. Can ELAC make contact? They're not going to. Saxon Va'a into the end zone for a touchdown. Dangerous, dangerous punt returner in Saxon Va'a.
Saxon Va'a with the 60-yard punt return for a touchdown.
And until today, he had only had 35 yards returning on the season. Tack on another 70-plus for that. Kick is up, and kick is good. 34-0 in favor of the Falcons.
With the PAT kick, and the score with 12:13 left in the 3rd quarter.
And Cerritos
Cerritos 34.
is downright dominating East LA.
Yeah, when you look at everything else, I think there's part of it too when you think we're going to be in the playoffs, you play a different game. I'm sorry. I think it's that attitude that all of a sudden you realize we get to play with the big boys. And that hypes everybody up coming into a game.
Officially a 37-yard punt for East LA, caught on the 36-yard line, so a 64-yard return touchdown for Saxon Va'a. Little squib kick. Caught at the 10. Knocked out of bounds at about the 25.
The kick was returned by Victor Rodriguez out to the 28-yard line, where the Huskies take over first and 10 on their own 28.
So 1st and 10 from the Husky 28-yard line. Jones in at wide receiver. He's wide right. Valencia in at QB with Bozeman lined up in the backfield. Valencia will keep it and only gain about a yard.
And you like Danny F. Johnson out there for the defense. One of the defensive ends for Cerritos. Watch this young man play. He's going to be the far side defensive end as they come down with 3 down linemen. Quick off the ball for the Falcons when you watch him out there. And again, you look at the Falcons, 3-4 is basically what they're playing when you look at them, because they will walk somebody up from the outside and then come.
Dump off pass will fall incomplete.
Well, I could have used that picture right there in my description for an educational one, you know?
Pass was intended for number 34, Pharaoh Nea. Third and 9 with 11 minutes to go here in our third quarter. Falcons with a handy, sizable lead. Here's the snap. Valencia, he'll pass up the middle and will be intercepted by Cerritos. Number 5 on the catch, an interception. That's Mike Evans. Second interception thrown by East LA today.
Mike Evans with the interception. The Falcons take over on their own 46-yard line. 1st and 10.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Falcons, taking over on their own 46-yard line. And the starters are still in for the Falcons. They are just bringing it to East LA tonight. Delay a game here on Cerritos. That'll back them up 5 yards.
5-yard penalty, still 1st down, 15.
So they didn't think they were back far enough, so they took a penalty. Once again, when you pad your stats, They already heard Corey Nayland's all-conference teams and said, okay, we'll show you.
Here's a snap. They'll hand it off to Kaysen. Finds a hole on the right side. Gets back those 5 yards and some more. He'll break free. Gets to the 30. Knocked out at the 25-yard line. Huge first down run and then some for the running back, Josh Kaysen.
Well, you watch this. You watch those big hogs out there. Baca at right tackle, Paulo at right guard, Huckabee at center, Leometti at left guard, and then Sandoval at left tackle. They just beating people up on the offensive line down there because they are people that can move the ball.
Calvin has the snap, trying to find his receiver, Michael Ashford. That'll fall incomplete.
Calvin's pass falls incomplete. Second down and 10.
As we have a new guest joining us on the mic. Soon to be best SID in SoCal football, Cerwin D. Haynes.
Am I? Am
Yeah.
I in line for that?
Yeah, that's what we said. We talked up John Van Gaston, which Corey and I have known for years. John's not only is he one of the nicer men, but he gives you everything there. You're sitting right on the back door of walking in and taking over because you are one of the other nicer individuals in this game of athletics on the community college level.
Oh man, that you guys are too kind. I mean, it's funny because you mentioned that.
All right, we'll take it back.
Hey! I'm saying I'm appreciative, especially given we just had our state SID meeting up in Burbank this Wednesday, and passing complete there by Cerritos, and of course seeing my fellow SID members. Of course, you got to mention Rob Lewis, who's one of the OGs in SoCal SID realm. Rob Lewis of Pasadena City College, who was here last week. Of course, you got. I like to talk about, of course, my guy Kenny and Megan over at Mount Sac. So many people. I'm still catching my breath and getting up these steps, but of course, we talk about the OGs of the region. Of course, you got to talk about Tony Altabelli down at Orange Coast College.
Oh, yeah, Tony's a nice man.
Yeah,
yes.
Very nice. I saw him. We were up at Orange Coast. We played Orange Coast a few weeks ago. Tony's always nice, always welcoming. We have a bit of a running joke he and I have about the fact that we share a public address announcer, as it looks like the Huskies get a fourth down stop here.
Yeah, number 15 on the tackle, Roberto Sabalos. Bringing down number 10, Malachi Wright. So turnover on downs. It's going to be ELAC ball on the 25.
Yeah, so Ryan Pond is one of our regular PA guys, not just for football, but also for men and women's basketball and volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get into break into badminton, but but I think we don't really. Our setup really doesn't. Is not the type of setup that will afford for a public address announcer for badminton. But that's his long-term dream. But he also does Orange Coast football and basketball. So me and Tony have a little joke going that we share an AD, we share a PA announcer. But I tell Ryan, hey, listen, you don't have to tell Tony that you like us better. Here, so.
Flag on the play as number 3, Jaden Thomas, was on the carry.
And I'm going to ask you, because a lot of people, when Corey teaches a sports broadcasting class, and we will tell students, hey, if you're going to interview somebody, go see the SID. And they all sort of stare at us, and people will say, what's a sports information director? Because they think you're somebody who says, oh, yeah, let me give you a phone number.
Right.
So what is your day like as an SID?
Oh man, it's varied. There's the core duties of making sure the stats for games are recorded, and that they're sent to 3C2A, managing your school's athletic website, basically in charge of promoting the brand and student athletes and the teams of your athletic department, telling the story of our student athletes. That's kind of the biggest macro picture in terms of what our job is, telling the stories, illustrating the exploits of our student athletes. Oh, mean sack there. That's number 56 of Cerritos. Just kind of rolled over a quarterback there.
That's Topu Toloa getting the sack for the Falcons, backing up East LA even further from their original line of scrimmage. Original line of scrimmage was on the 24. They're backed up to the 11.
And I've got to ask you, how did you discover, or how did you decide you wanted to be an SID?
You know, when I first heard of the position, or, you know, it's different variations of the term SID. There's SID, Sports Information Specialist. There's Sports Information Officer. So all of them essentially the same function, similar functions. I was working in another department back in 2018 here at East LA College. And at the time, I was only living here in LA for 2 years. So I just didn't know much. You see flags on the field now, a lot of extracurricular activity. So I didn't know, and so I didn't know anything about the community district that we're a part of here, ELAC, called the Los Angeles Community College District. I just didn't know anything. So one day on break, I'm looking through the different job descriptions, through the classifications, and I see something called Sports Information Specialist. Well, just as I'm looking at that, one of our athletic counselors, who's a great woman by the name of Dorothy Teola, was walking past me, and I turned to Dorothy, I said, Dorothy, what is a sports information specialist? And that's how it all started, because she told me this big backstory about how the department wanted one, and I won't get into the back and forth of the particulars, but it ended up being kind of like an 8-month journey, but started with her simply asking me, Cerwin, are you interested? Now, as you guys know, I have my background in media and broadcasting. I have a undergraduate in communications, telecommunications, communication studies from Morgan State. I have a master's in media management from Syracuse. So that's my background. And so I was like, yes, and I was big into sports journalism at one time. So I said, yes, I am interested. Huskies back in their own end zone to get the pass off. And it's 3rd and forever. They get about, it's like 6 there. At least to get out of the end zone, to give the punter some room, Albert.
And for what you don't know, the people are out there, when the gentleman to my right said he went to Syracuse, anybody who wanted to be a sports broadcaster, if you wanted to go to a school that maybe would get you in there, you went to one of the best in the nation. So I can see why you have the background you have.
Indeed. I was fortunate to be able to get in as a grad student. And, my degree was actually, that one was almost blocked. Might have got tipped there. As it lands at the Husky 35, it takes a bounce. And
Officially going to get marked down at the 44-yard line. So not the best punts for ELAC on that particular possession. They've certainly had better ones tonight.
They have, but that's been kind of MO of our punter this year, is that he punts it about 25 yards, but maybe 60% of the time it gets a good bounce when it hits the ground, hits the ground, and they can bounce forward in ELAC's favor for another maybe 10 or 15 yards. So his net yardage shouldn't look too terrible. He's got some good tape for some good punts, but it's just that when you're punting from near your own end zone, if you punt 25, 30 yards, the team's still gonna take over on your side of the field, as Cerritos does at the 44.
Nick Mayala will pass, gets it complete to number 7, and good for about 5 yards. That's Rocco Calderala.
But interestingly, you mentioned about my background in terms of broadcast and media. I was talking this week, and a few other my fellow SIDs had similar backgrounds. I talked about Rob Lewis. My guy Byron Devers up at Alamo Valley started at the news desk way back before he got the job at AVC. So Bill Norris over at San Bernardino Valley He was a writer, a newspaper writer for a time before he got that job over there. So there are quite a few of us that do have that journalism or broadcast background before we get into the SID chair here at our respective schools.
There you go, Albert. So I'm setting you up for your next career. See?
I've thought about it, honestly.
And there's going to be there's some openings coming up, Albert.
Yeah.
As you know,
I got the degree. I got a bachelor's.
There you go, Mr. Van Gaston is, as we all know, is that
Big
just
first down
escaped that
carry,
one.
and then some into the end zone. That's Nicholas Adamora. Touchdown, Falcons.
Falcons unfortunately have had their way with ELAC in many ways this evening, one of which is on the ground. Kind of shudder to think how many rushing yards the Falcons have right now, but I'll look it up.
I see a net rushing yards of at least 219.
Yeah, the way they've been running the ball, that sounds about right, unfortunately, for ELAC.
Kick is up, and kick is good.
One of the reasons why, if you guys are looking on your screen, if you can kind of look at the sidelines, one sideline for Cerritos, sideline for the Huskies, you'll notice that Cerritos has a lot more white shirts on their side than the Huskies do gray, as Cerritos is able to not just be talented and be the better team, but they have the numbers advantage right now in terms of guys that can come in and come out. And when you're playing shorthanded, what happens is when your starters get winded, and you got to give them a blow. If you have reserves, when you're shorthanded, your reserves, a good chance your reserve not as good as the starters, not close to the level of the starters, so they can't. So they give up too. So when the starters come out, the reserves come in, and they end up giving up too much ground.
Kickoff is up and away. No fair catch made, so ELAC will elect to return. Breaks one tackle, and another knockdown out of bounds just past the 35-yard line.
That's Justin Warwick with the big return. 5'11" defensive back out of Bishop Morris Salesian.
25-yard return.
So East LA with some favorable position here late into the third quarter. But they need to be a little more efficient in how they move the ball.
Yeah, they've had bits and pieces here and there. We see like they're on the verge of putting together a nice drive. And it just, they just haven't been able to really put it together even further. Sometimes you get compromising in your game plan when you have a backup quarterback and that hasn't gotten a lot of reps, particularly reps passing the ball. He does get a completion there.
Pass is complete to number 9 on the play. That's Bernardo Blanco.
Wait 1 second. Now, Mark, I want to give my appreciation to you for asking about my background and a little kind of behind-the-scenes view of what sports information directors do. Believe it or not, this is College Sports Communicators Membership Appreciation Week this week for the College Sports Communicators, which is a national organization for people like myself. And this is Appreciation Week, so kind of apropos that able to talk a little bit about the position here on celebration of Appreciation Week. So thank you again.
Well, thank you, because, without individuals like you in here, there'd be many of us that would be lost, not know who to talk about, get rosters like Albert gets every time he does any of your sports here at East LA.
Well, Steven Morales got me these.
Oh, okay. All right.
Who printed them out for you? I'm sorry, who printed them out?
I do believe it's your printer.
Okay. Albert's been feeling really spicy. I know your Dodgers won. You're back to back.
I wasn't even going to bring it up.
No.
I wasn't even going to bring it up.
But you've been the spirit. I feel the spirit. Okay, you're on top of the world, and rightfully so. Okay, back to back. First team since my Yankees to do that. Go back to back. Huskies get
good completion here. Good for a first down. That's Jaden Thomas with the catch. So that'll move the chains.
Thomas been able to do some things in this game. We'll see if we can find his stats here.
Watch it, Albert. You got a Yankee guy to your right and a St. Louis Cardinal guy behind you. So, you know.
Well, and a Giants guy to my left. So,
Oh,
you know,
yeah, that's true.
just getting it from both ends there.
But, you know, as they say, to the victor goes the spoils. So you got to give credit where credit's due.
You do.
I'm not a hater.
Well, you may not be.
Oh, okay. Listen, after last year, I came close to being one.
They'll go with the carry here to Blanco. He'll get about 6 yards on the play. Decent carry.
You know, can I ask you, I know a lot of the community colleges have upgraded. Northern California is building stadiums, softball fields in it. Are there any plans to upgrade any athletic facilities here in East LA?
I'm happy you asked. Matter of fact, this spring, they're going to break ground on a new athletic and kinesiology center, which is going to be our new gym. It's going to have multiple, more than one court, so you can be able to play, have an event, and then another team can have practice on the side court. So that's they're going to break ground in spring. In fact, we have to move from our offices, the bungalows behind us, in March, we're told. It was kind of going back between March and December. So we're told, as of now, the final word is March we move. So that's going to be a new gymnasium, a new athletic facility, a new offices for ourselves, permanent offices, new offices for kinesiology, who have been up in the North Gym, formerly called the Women's Gym, E9, and that building is probably older than the South Gym, where we play our games on men's basketball, women's basketball, wrestling, volleyball. We have all formal games. So it's a long time coming. This field, Weingart, is up for renovation as well. In the long run, it's going to be a long-term top to bottom or bottom to top renovation, starting with a new field. As Huskies 2nd and 4. Quick pass outside, complete. Defense right there for Cerritos to make the tackle.
It's complete to Bernardo Blanco once again. Short gain of about 2 yards.
Including, I believe, and I could be wrong, including with the field, there is plans for renovating the track. You know, we have a viable track team that's been sending members to state over the past few years.
There was a young one we saw two years ago.
Yeah, won the state championship in a 5,000 meter run 2 years ago, Marbella. And Coach Brown, he's been grinding, you know, and I know, and once we can finally get the upgrade to the field and the track here.
Valencia on the keeper, breaks free for a first down, keeps on going and knocked down at the 15-yard line. So one of the better carries for Brandon Valencia here tonight. It's going to move the chains and then some and bring East LA into the red zone.
First down and 10 for the Huskies at the Falcons 15-yard line.
So 1st and 10 from the Falcons 15.
Haven't called Logan Ebnett's name this evening, and obviously it's unlikely at this point. We'll probably see him come in at any point in this game, especially with the score the way it is.
Here's the snap. They'll fake the handoff. Pass is dropped at the floor, trying to get it into the hands of Jaden Thomas. And so, like you mentioned, you know, the potential revitalization and refurbishment for the track here. And, you know, with the history that exists here in Weingart Stadium, you know, that would definitely be a welcome sight. You know, this school has a long-standing history with the community and has massive dedicated support to this school. So it would be a wonderful thing to see happen, to see this field get revitalized, to see the track get some revitalized. That will hopefully bring some renewed interest into this school's athletic program and into their academics as well. And not only because, this is probably one of, I think, the only school with an actual bowl stadium left
Indeed, yes.
in probably all of community college athletics, not just California. Like this, school is capable of so much more. And with that type of revitalization, this school should hopefully be able to host, some ideal events like the state track and field finals, like some other bowl games. We've hosted bowl games in the past, yes, but it would be, a much welcome sight to see some larger events be held here.
Well, we consistently host the East LA Classic. We've hosted it 3 out of the past 5 years, and before COVID, we hosted it every year without fail. And it's the biggest game throughout the year.
100 years, I think it was game number 95, because there was those couple years where they didn't have it.
Right. And it's a deep rivalry, and it's one of the games that fills up the stadium, 25,000 plus. We have so many vendors here. It's really a movie, when Garfield and Roosevelt are here. And to be able to have the ability to do more of those events, upgraded facilities mean so much. We're in the same conference and division as, say, Cerritos, as Mount Sac, and some other schools that have more modern facilities. And
they go deep, and pass is broken up by number 15 on the defense for the Falcons. That's Arian Richardson. Pass was intended for Cameron Jones.
Someone on the Huskies coaching staff up in the box nestle was not happy about that play. I don't know what they saw.
A lot of contact. I didn't see anything, a little too extra on the contact side of things. It was a relatively clean play. Both players certainly made a play for the ball.
Although I do see Coach Godinez talking to that it looks like the back judge there.
He's going to talk to everybody.
Well, yeah. He's not. It wasn't as egregious as the instance in the first half where it looks like the referees clearly missed a pass interference call. And he was lighting into the referee there.
So big 4th down, and East LA will keep their offense on the field. They are going to go for it.
And why not?
Here is Valencia.
Oh, he's got hold, and he's going
down. Definitely got wrangled. That's number 56, the big man, Topu Toloa, with the sack.
And when you're down 41-0, you literally have nothing else to lose. I don't understand holding the ball there, but again, backup quarterback, someone that doesn't get as many reps throughout the season, and sometimes things like that happen. Of course, you would like to say, listen, just let it go. If you got to
see what you got.
If you throw the ball 20 yards downfield and it's picked off, it's kind of like a short punt. Might as well just let it rip. You could argue that a sack there was the worst outcome for the offense at that situation, fourth down, because you give Cerritos good starting position.
Yeah, so they'll take over on their own 40-yard line. Miala will hand it off to Kaysen. Finds a hole on the right side, breaks a tackle and some more. Definitely got the first down, and the pack is still moving. He hasn't been brought down yet. The Falcons are just pushing him consistently for some bonus yards, but the referees will officially mark the ball dead at the 45-yard line.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And we do have an injured Husky on the field as the end of the third quarter is here. Fourth quarter coming up shortly.
Looks like he's getting up on his own power. See who that is. His jersey is kind of tucked in up inside. He's being walked off. He's walking off of his own power, talking to our African trainers, Dr. Benitez Lopez.
Just a quick note, the officials for tonight's game.
Is that 99? I can't tell.
Collegiate Football Officials Association. Referee.
So if you're that local person who lives here in East LA, we've already heard you guys are going to have a new football field next year, Albert Robles, to be able to call games from, possibly
hopefully.
a reinvented stadium here at East LA.
Eventually, yes. But the gym is definitely sounds like the gym is going to be first. In fact, the plan is eventually when they do the gym and when they do renovate the top part of the stadium, they're going to have a connector from the stadium to the athletics facility, so that we don't have to go outside. We can kind of shuttle back and forth indoors between our offices and the gym. So that'd be nice.
Just remember, Albert, you want that private parking place for Albert Robles.
Yeah, you know what? I joke with Albert.
I would love a parking spot, but I would rather have an elevator.
That's in the works. That's part of the plan for the renovation of the stadium, because they do want to make it ADA accessible, and so having an elevator is going to be part of that.
Number 4 on the carry. That's Romeo Clark, good for about 5 yards. Because, I can walk up those steps, like up me and myself, those steps, not a problem. Me with like the 50-pound plus gigantic case of equipment plus everything else that I have, not fun. An elevator, much appreciated. Like Saddleback. Saddleback's got a great elevator. A little slow, but it's nice.
That's
true. You know who else has an elevator? El Camino.
Bakersfield.
That was nice. You know who,
Of course, Mount Sac has an elevator.
do you know who doesn't have an elevator? Cerritos.
No.
And they need an elevator.
I'll take a stab at Cerritos and Long Beach. Long Beach is notorious as far as their climb to go up.
There are times, I have not been to Long Beach's stadium, but there are times where I'm driving to Long Beach Airport and I'm driving past their facilities, and I see that press box, and I'm every time I see it, it's man, thank God we haven't had to do a game there.
Oh, we've done games there.
I haven't done it.
Yeah. But they renovated Veterans Stadium, and I haven't been there since they renovated Veterans Stadium, so I don't know.
We were there. I'm trying to think. I think last year, and it's still a hike to get up to their press box.
Oof.
In fact, it's the first year in a long time we have not played Long Beach City College. Those of you who know the Huskies a few years ago Huskies in Long Beach started the President's Cup.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, with the whole rivalry, President's
Right.
Cup.
So what it
bell.
is the president for ELAC at the time, Dr. Alberto Roman, was good friends with the president of Long Beach City College. I forget the gentleman's name. And so they decided they want to have a little friendly rivalry. They want to start a rivalry series. So sure enough, a few years ago, we decided the ELAC Foundation, I think, got the cup, the actual trophy cup. And first two years of it, the Huskies won the cup. First here at ELAC, I think 2022.
That sounds right. I believe I was here for that.
Yep, and in 2023, the Huskies with a dominant road win at Long Beach to take the cup for a second straight year. And, last year, it was a struggle. Arnie Robles was interim for his first season, and the Huskies got beat pretty good by Long Beach, and they took the cup. And that's
Valencia, deep pass down to left-hand side.
He caught it.
Pass is complete.
Yeah.
Big first down catch for number 2, Damari Taylor. Move the sticks.
Jamari Taylor.
The Huskies receivers you talk about, Jonathan Alexander, Damari Taylor, Jaden Thomas, these are guys with some serious ability. They got a little bit of height to them. Alexander 6'1", Taylor 6 foot even. Jaden Thomas a little short at 5'10", but they both have, all three of them have some legit ability. Just sometimes, maybe some drops, but sometimes just inconsistency in the passing game. But all three have some major ability.
Bozeman in at running back. They'll hand it off. Bozeman keeps it. And he will get the first down. So it'll be 1st and goal from the Falcon 8-yard line. East LA with the best field position they've had all night.
Bozeman coming into tonight, 572 yards on the season, averaging 60. Nice chunk considering the offense. A little over 63 yards a game, 4.3 yards per rush with 4 touchdowns.
Valencia throws to the right-hand side. He's got an open man. Is it good? Did he come down with it? Yes, he did. Husky touchdown.
And that's good for a Husky touchdown.
So Huskies finally get on the board.
Is that Damari Taylor?
I believe that is Damari Taylor with the catch. Actually, no, pass was to Kamal Jabari, tight end for East LA.
Oh, Jabari, yes, he's another guy. Huskies, you know, the record may tell you otherwise, but there's been some guys that have some serious ability on this team on both sides of the ball. Oh, and that
Kick is up and doinks off the right upright. No good. East LA closes the gap to 35. Well, I mean, what else can I say?
Hey, you're positive, baby. You're positive.
You're being positive. You're being positive.
There's an opportunity. The door is open.
So Huskies, at least they avoid being shut out, which is never a good thing. And at least I was saying that they had bits and pieces in the first half where they were able to get a run here and a pass completion there, first down there, but were able to get a sustained drive. So at least now the Huskies were able to put it together and get a sustained drive. Of course, the score is what it is, but at least they're able to get 6 on the board.
And it is special to see Kamal Jabari get one into the end zone. He's had quite a few impact catches on the season. So that's a good one to have here in this game.
Good size tight end, 6'4", 230, sophomore out of Inglewood High.
Little squib kick.
Oh,
Ball is fumbled, touched by the Falcons. It's going to be recovered by East LA.
But there's a flag on the
I
field.
believe it was Gabriel Gonzalez with the recovery. There is a flag on the field.
It's kind of back in the Huskies' territory where you would probably see some sort of
Offsides on East LA.
You know what? Do it again. Why not? Do it again. You're down 35. Do it again. You know, worst case scenario, Cerritos gets the ball. You're already down 35, but hey, at least give the Huskies another opportunity on offense if they can recover like they did just now. Of course, Cerritos maybe they're switching out maybe some more hands to get guys on the return so they don't get caught off guard. But again, why not? Try it again.
Yeah.
Jabari's only his second touchdown on the season. Prior to this touchdown, he had touchdowns, 3 catches, 79 yards at Golden West a few weeks ago. Yeah, touchdown. Those are a good game. San Diego Mesa in that Husky loss, he had 7 catches for 60 yards. So another Husky player here who has, there's another squib. High hopper.
Takes a good bounce, but is recovered.
And it's going to be returned for a long way.
He keeps on going. No Husky player has made contact until now. Dropped down at the 15. So a great return for Rocco Calderala.
Rocco Caldera with the return.
I feel like I just got made to eat my own words here, Albert. I was saying, hey, scrib it again. Why not? You're down 35. Even though Cerritos did switch out for their hands team, they didn't want to get caught off
Well, I mean,
guard
like
again.
they kicked at the one guy you really didn't want to have return the ball, which is Rocco Calderala. He has been dynamite on the field for the Falcons. Like, he leads the team in return yards Coming into tonight, he had over 500 yards on the season, 567 specifically. Longest return was 46 yards, although I think he topped that tonight. The snap is fumbled, and Miala is going to fall on it. So a good 10-yard plus loss on the high snap. And actually, I do have a correction in at quarterback now is J.P. Gonzalez for Miala.
Cerritos will now have second in, 21, 22?
See what I mean?
They'll hand it off, and a huge run for number 4, Romeo Clark.
You know, it's one thing to know what's coming, and Cerritos has been dominant on the ground, and they've been insistent on establishing the run and reestablishing the run and reestablishing a run. So it's one thing to know what's coming, but it's another thing to unfortunately not be able to do much about it. And that's what we'll see like with the Huskies defense, which have been competitive and combatant all season. Unfortunately, kind of up against a road grinder here. And
JP throws to the right side. That is complete for a touchdown. Number 14 with the touchdown reception. That is Larry Allen, the freshman for Cerritos.
Kind of looks like Allen, kind of stiff arm, Looks like number 42 got beat on the catch there. Looks like he kind of stiff arm David Dotson there, but a little bit right before he caught it. But refs didn't see it, and it's another touchdown for Cerritos. Extra point pending.
Here's snap, kick is up, and kick is good. So a 42-point lead for Cerritos over your Huskies. 10 minutes, 51 seconds remaining here in our game.
Can you imagine? We need 51 more points to have 99 that happened in a game today. That's just outrageous to think somebody scored 99
Somebody
points.
scored 99 today.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't on Compton.
Oh, boy. So, Deanza?
Wow. Deanza scored 99. Fresno City College scored 77.
Those are really lopsided scores. How many of those touchdowns were probably defensive or special teams even?
That's a good question. Here's the kickoff for the Falcons. East LA will opt to return. Breaks through a few tackles, almost finds a gap, but is brought down shy of the 30-yard line, officially marked at the 28.
You know, coming into this season, we were talking about being realistic about what this team would look like. Kind of a transition because Coach Arnie Robles left to take the grad coaching assistant job at Northern Illinois late in this kind of midsummer. And of course, Coach Godinez, who had once coached the team, had handed the reins over to Robles, now had to retake the reins late, kind of late in the summer, as far as not summer season-wise, but summer in terms of the semester. So obviously no chance to recruit. He's assuming a coaching staff put together by Robles. And
here's Bozeman on a carry. Looks like it might be enough for a first down.
See, one of the Husky coaches kind of get over to Bozeman and kind of escort him back on the field, because the tackle's made on the Husky sideline. You don't want to risk any frustration bubbling over into anything where flags are being thrown again.
Officially 9 yards on the carry for Bozeman, so 2nd and 1.
But coming into this season, we're like, okay, looking at what we have, what can we do? And we're thinking, okay, you know what? If certain things break right, we knew certain games were going to be tough. We knew Fullerton was going to be tough. We knew Golden West was going to be a tough one. But we're thinking, hey, there's a nice little run here. Is that Bozeman
That'll
again?
be good for a first down carry for C.J. Bozeman.
Bozeman up the middle.
So that'll move the sticks with 10 minutes left to play here in the fourth quarter.
First down.
Bozeman has enough size and ability to be playing at the next level, at the 4-year level somewhere. So hopefully, this won't be I don't think this won't be the last we hear of them. But getting back to the season, okay, we figured San Diego Mesa, Coach Godinez thought that Mesa was going to be really good. Huskies had a tough loss, 35-20. But now you look at the next game, Palomar. That's one of the games to circle. Hey, listen, if we win this game, then this can tell a different story on how this season can go for us. Unfortunately, the Huskies missed their opportunities in that game and lost 17-14 our home opener. Got the win at Santa Ana, 35-20. Of course, Fullerton came, and fortunately Fullerton does what Fullerton tends to do to us, which is, beat us pretty good. Oh, big tackle there by Cerritos.
Pass is complete to number 34, Pharaoh Nea.
Golden West, who we've always had a tough time with down in Huntington Beach, but this Golden West team is different this year. They're not just good, they're potentially championship good. So we had a loss there. Got the win against Orange Coast after the bye, but again, another kind of one of those 50-50 games against Canyons, and Huskies again had opportunities. And actually, I'm not going to say that about Canyons. I'm going to say that Huskies did have opportunities, but some very questionable officiating. I will say that very questionable officiating had a big part in the Canyons coming away with that win, 14-10.
Carry here for Bozeman up the middle. Good for about 5 yards.
And sometimes things like that tend to snowball downward. Yes, a lot. You're showing me the graphic. David Chukwamika, of course, who was a subject of an exclusive interview by CBS News, CBS LA.
Yeah, so
you guys got a chance to all see that.
So Chukwameka has a bunch of offers on the table. And I'm looking at his social right now, just because Cerwin showed me a graphic. And I'm like, oh, let me take a look at that. Like, this kid has offers from UCLA, UNLV, Kentucky. He's got an offer from the Razorbacks. He's got an offer from OSU. And so many more. Like, the future of this kid is so promising.
And to think that last year he was on UC Merced's bench as a backup power forward. He's let it fly.
Pass deep left side. Gonna be just overthrown. Trying to get it to Damari Taylor.
But I like that. When you don't have anything to lose, anything much to lose, you're kind of behind big, you're a backup quarterback. You know what? This is an opportunity for you to get some good game tape on yourself. Show that you can throw the ball downfield. Show you can throw the deep ball.
6 is to 4th down and 5 for the Huskies.
Mark, I said earlier that, moisture starting to settle in this time of year. You can start to see that little hazy fog settling over the lights right now.
Yeah.
Pretty soon you'll start to get that little cold snap.
There's a stoppage on the field. Looks like Huskies will take a timeout. Their first timeout of the second half here.
Third timeout. East LA.
But yeah, Chukwamika, like I said, Syracuse, just all over. I think West Virginia might have offered.
West Virginia, Utah, FIU, OSU.
Which OSU?
Looks like Oklahoma. Not the Ohio State.
Exactly.
He's got an offer from Jacksonville State with the Gamecocks, the Lobos.
Jacksonville State. Okay, no, I'm thinking Jackson State. Never mind. That's where Quincy Ivory is. Quincy Ivory, guy a few years ago, you remember Albert, came in as a quarterback. Coach Godinez said, you know what? You're backing up. You're a backup quarterback right now, but with your size, how would you like being a defensive end? So Ivory agreed to the position switch, and it got him a scholarship to Florida. That's how impactful he was in his short time as a defensive end. And now he went from Florida to Jackson State, and he's tearing it up at Jackson State. He's one of the top 5 HBCU NFL prospects right now.
East LA goes for it on 4th and 5. Pass is complete and good for the first down.
The pass complete. To Jaden Thomas.
A pass complete to Jaden Thomas for the first down.
Inside the Cerritos territory.
Into Cerritos territory, taking it over on the 44-yard line. 6:58 and counting
I
remaining.
will say, I just saw somebody come in that you were telling me that on your comments, Albert, that they were asking for. And let me just pull the roster up because I see the number. And it is number 34, Pharaoh Nea, who's in. Huskies bulldozing their way upfield. They're going to get about 8 here.
Looks like a little bit more, according to the far side line judge. They are moving the 6. That is a first down carry for C.J. Bozeman.
For 11 yards. And another Husky.
So Bozeman and Pharaoh Nea tight end. But also we have seen him take handoffs and run the ball.
And he did make a catch not too long ago.
So for that one person who's asking for Nea, here you go. Lines up tight end on the far side.
Taylor wide left, Cameron Jones wide right, top of your screen. Bozeman in at running back, Valencia in at QB as he has been all day, or most of the day. We'll hand it off to Bozeman, cuts left, breaks a tackle, finds a hole, working toward the sideline, knocked out of bounds just past the 30-yard line. So it'll be about a 4-yard carry.
You know, he's trying to stretch it out going out of bounds. I think he might have gotten a few more yards if he had cut inside on that last juke. Instead of going to the sideline, just cut inside. I think he would have gotten about maybe an extra 2 or 3 yards.
Second down and 5.
Because that run actually, he eluded a couple of would-be tacklers. It looked promising.
So officially a 5-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 5 coming up.
Actually had a really good turnout tonight. I mean, part of it helped by Cerritos because they do have quite a bit on the line right now. A playoff spot, as you guys were talking about at halftime. And plus, they're only about 20, 25 minutes away from us, so.
Timeout on the field called by East LA. 5 minutes, 9 seconds remaining. 2nd down here for East LA.
And being it's the final game of the season, final home game, Husky hopefuls have come out.
Once again, folks, pick up your dinner at the taco stand located out of
Looks like we had a free taco dinner raffled off. M&M Tacos, one of our vendors for the past several years, big supporters of ELAC Athletics. I thank Myra and her husband. Also, sweet tulip treats. Been here all season with your cookies and brownies, cake pops, and more.
I've had them. They're good.
They're delicious. You can find Sweet Tulip Treats on Instagram. I hear the crowd having fun. I hear laughter, and I feel I'm getting a little FOMO, Albert. I want to know what's so funny going on down there.
2nd and 5 for the Huskies.
2nd and 5 for East LA. Valencia has a snap. He'll pass deep to the left-hand side. Pass is intercepted into the end zone. He's not brought down. Finally gets some contact. It's Bozeman who's looking to make the tackle. Whistles all around, but it is going to be Cerritos ball. It's Arian Richardson with the interception. 3rd time today that Brandon Valencia has been picked off.
Now, again, you don't have much to lose at this point in the game by throwing a deep
Yeah, just
ball.
chuck it to the end zone. And, Arian Richardson, that's his 2nd interception of the game. He just swooped in, took that one away from Damari Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, you need your receivers. You hope that your receivers can fight for the ball a little bit better than that, especially on what will look like to be a 50-50 ball. You're down big. You don't have anything to lose by going all out to fight for the ball. But sometimes, what they say, the hungry dog wins. So on the turnover, Cerritos would set up at their 10.
They'll hand it off, this time to number 43 on the carry.
I'm going to predict.
It's Brendan Leomidi.
I'm going to predict. I could be wrong, but I predict you probably won't see another pass from Cerritos.
Probably not 4.5 minutes and counting, so clock is running on the run plays. Gain of 4 officially on that play from Leo Mitty.
Someone yelling from the crowd, we're only down by 1. Trying to psych up the players to try to continue to compete for these final 4+ minutes.
And, I don't disagree with that. That's not a bad mentality to have.
Oh, good
They'll
defensive
carry
play there.
to Romeo Clark, who runs it out of bounds, much to Corey chagrin, who just says stay in bounds. Let's just end this already.
Yeah, but it was a good defensive play there by ELAC to kind of string out the runner. And
because those are the types of play on the defensive end that you're trying to make. Like if you're still in it, points wise, that's the type of play you want to be able to make. Try to conserve the time on the clock, so this way you at least give your offense a chance to get on the board should you force a turnover or get the ball back. Clark with the carry gets tripped up. That should be a tackle for a loss.
One thing you say about the Huskies' defense this year, in terms of talent, is not what we've seen in previous seasons from a Bobby Godinez defense, but they've been competitive as all heck. They've never given up. They've battled throughout all sorts of adversity or being outmanned. And see another Husky player kind of hobbling off the field here.
That was Travian Baker with the tackle for a loss on Romeo Clark.
Wyrick kind of hopping off to the sideline. Wyrick wearing that special black helmet.
And we get a substitution here for East LA defensively. Dylan Brock will come in for Travian Baker.
And there's a timeout taken by Cerritos.
2 minutes, 40 seconds left here in our game.
We're hearing everyone in the press box saying, why are you taking a timeout? You're up by 42. Why do you need to take a timeout to punt the ball? But
you want to get your formation right?
Yeah. And if you're Cerritos, maybe you use these.
They haven't punted it a whole lot tonight, so you want to make sure that, you're at least keeping your punters sharp.
There is that, Albert. There is that.
I'm not trying to throw shade. That's just the reality. This is a team who's, going to be making the playoffs. You want to make sure that your guys are still able to get the reps in.
No, I was teasing. I know you weren't throwing shade, Albert. That time.
Yeah, not that time. Not that time, no.
No, but you know what, Cerritos, listen, you're going to the playoffs, and, you want to use opportunities when you can as teachable moments. You never know when situations like this may come into play in a live grenades situation come playoffs. So why not take the opportunity, playing devil's advocate. Sometimes when you have blowouts, of course, this is not going the Huskies' way, but even if it was going the Huskies' way, during blowouts, you still want to use opportunity, what we call live practice. When you still take the time during a live game to practice certain situations for future games.
Yeah, it's not very often that you'll come up with scenarios where you can have live game speed like this and not trying to risk any type of injury.
Right.
It's like you could be doing at practice. Usually there's some level of reserving yourself.
Who's good for doing that? Using who's on a blowout game where thankfully they've been on the good side of it.
Pass is complete to Victor Rodriguez. Good for a first down.
Use live game as practice, as kind of live practice experience. ELAC men's basketball head coach John Mosley got a big win at home on this past Wednesday against Long Beach City, even their record to 1-1.
That game, of course, was live on sportsnetusa.net. You can check the replay out on our YouTube page.
Yeah, please do. Speaking of basketball, men are off until next weekend.
And we are at officially the 2-minute timeout.
Let's check on the women's side. They started the season, first weekend of the season, 2-0 out in Riverside for the Riverside tournament. However, they've had a good weekend here. They lost. They're up at Moore Park at the We Are Moore Park tournament. Lost to the host Raiders. Raiders are always a tough opponent for Coach Turner and his squad. So they got blown out by the Raiders 75-41. But what they did do, they bounced back to beat Canyons on yesterday. And then today they got a big win again against Riverside, 69-40 earlier today. So Huskies men are 1-1. Basketball women are 4-1, off to a good start.
Valencia throws it out to the right side. That's complete. Nice sizable gain here for East LA. Second and short coming up.
Valencia to Rodriguez.
Pass was complete to number 11, Victor Rodriguez.
In the women's game earlier, big scoring output by Allison DeVille for ELAC women's basketball. Had 26 points on 9 of 15 shooting, 4 of 7 from downtown. So she had the hot hand. Jocelyn Garcia had 12 points. We had 9 assists, 7 rebounds, 5 steals. Filled up the box score.
Bernardo Blanco on the carry. Good for the first down. Ball will be spotted at the 28-yard line.
Bernardo Blanco.
So this
1 minute remaining here in our game.
This is a time of month for us where a lot of our early fall sports are close to wrapping up. Men and women's soccer in the South Coast Conference Tournament. Unfortunately, neither of them.
Valencia goes deep to the left side. Pass is complete. Looks like he was just barely able to get that foot down. We can check that out on the replay here. I forgot that I've had this. Keep forgetting to use it, but you can see the ball in the air, gets to hands. I don't know. He looks like he might have been out of bounds on me. It might have actually been a gift catch. So they are indeed ruling that incomplete.
It was a nice effort. They could. I mean, they could have get it.
It definitely was an awesome effort. Just couldn't get that 1 foot in bounds.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 10 from the 28.
Looks like his knee landed out of bounds before he can get that foot down.
Valencia has a snap, throws to his left side. That's complete to Victor Rodriguez. Tackle made by number 22. That is Denny Kirkpatrick III.
And we have, what is that, another timeout?
And an injury timeout on the field as we have a player down. Looks like that might be Rodriguez.
Okay, it's an injury timeout. He kind of got twisted up on that tackle there. Kind of looked like he was pirouetting. So maybe he might have come down wrong.
So we'll step away for a moment for the injury timeout. You're watching Husky football right here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Of our statisticians.
So we're back here live on SportsNetUSA.net. Off the injury timeout, the Huskies did elect to take their final timeout to avoid a 10-second runoff. 28 seconds remaining here in our game.
Much to the dismay of our statistician crew to our left there. But, again, just, you know, the obvious question is why prolong the game that's already well past decided. Again, these guys here, you never know who's watching. So you're giving one more opportunity for a guy to make a play. Maybe have someone watch. Hey, listen, that kid, that's a nice play. Maybe he can make that type of play for my program, my 4-year program.
And, you know, looking at, Brandon Valencia, yeah, Ebnet was a starter, but, he's done a fairly good job coming in, backing up for Ebnet here today.
Oh, that pass.
Overthrows Jaden Thomas on that one. Would have been a great catch and possibly a touchdown for Thomas.
numbers.
Fourth down, 21 seconds remaining here for East LA.
Last I checked, Valencia had a, you know, if you can't take away the interceptions, but 21 of 32 for 210 yards, not bad. Just if you were just, you know, in a touchdown, not bad. Of course, the 3 interceptions, you know, kind of put a damper on those numbers.
Valencia drops back, scrambles to his left, throws deep to the sideline and out of bounds. Clock will stop at 13 seconds. Going to be a turnover on down. So Cerritos here really should just kneel it away, and that will be the end of our game.
Huskies turned the ball over on downs to the Falcons. First and 10.
You know what's funny?
23
As this game is over, you look at the score. You wouldn't think of it looking at the yardage. It's about almost even, close to even. Cerritos 364 total yards. Huskies have 335.
Oh, man.
Just goes to show
That
you-
is nuts.
Yes, very misleading.
So Cerritos will kneel on the ball. The clock will wind down, and zeros will be on the board. And that is our game. So final score here from Weingart Stadium, Falcons 48, your ELAC Huskies 6.
So, you know, season didn't go as planned. I mean, we thought maybe, coming into it, the Huskies could have gotten a couple more wins. They did have an opportunity for a couple more wins, let some games, some winnable games get by them. But, tough season. Thank everybody who's been watching throughout the season, supporting our football program here. And obviously, it's not the last time we'll be seeing you guys. We'll be seeing, we got basketball season has already started, and Albert was already done one men's basketball game. We got another one coming up in about a couple weeks on the 21st, I believe, 21st, 22nd.
Something like that. I'm not
Something
sure.
like that. Yeah, it's on the 21st, Friday 21st. And then in December, we'll have a couple women's basketball games for you guys before we get to pre-conference and conference in January, late January. So, just stay with us. And speaking of basketball, Coach Mosley just popped up right behind me.
What's up?
Hey, what's going on? We'll just finish up the broadcast talking about your win on Wednesday and talked about women's basketball as well. Our women's team, Coach Mosley's daughter, Mariah Mosley, is a sophomore guard for Bruce Turner's squad. And, it's always a treat for Mosley to pop up on us and check on us, make sure that we're on our P's and Q's up here.
P's and Q's, everything's going well. You just kind of had to come catch the view from up top.
Appreciate that. And so we're just talking about next week. You guys got a tournament next weekend.
Yeah, big tournament next week. I mean, in that tournament, you got San Francisco City, you got San Bernardino. Going to be an important tournament. I mean, we dropped one early against San Diego, and so in terms of quality points and RPI, it's going to be important to handle our business in this next tournament. Any points that we can get as we go down the stretch and go through conference and all that early here is important. So all these games are important to make sure that we stay up in that top 15 area to position ourselves better, for playoffs. So just looking ahead, but we got to handle our business next weekend. It's going to be a tough 3-day weekend next week.
We'll be definitely keeping an eye on that. Thank you, Coach, as always. And Albert.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for us here tonight. Be sure to like and subscribe. Stay up to date on all things sportsnetusa.net so you can get all the notifications for when we go live for all of our athletic events. In the meantime, I'm Albert Robles for Mark Pavlovich, Corey Nalen, Cerwin D, Haynes, and Ed Ford. You've been watching Husky football right here on sportsnetusa.net.